you were in Switzerland, but originally you're from the U.S.
Yeah,
So
I was born in
what's the
Oregon.
story of, you were in the U.S. and then ended up in Switzerland as a flight attendant?
All right, it's a lot in between there. Essentially, I was unschooled as a child and a teenager in the U.S., and that led to me having very little structure, very little direction in my life. And so I was going through the normal American process of go to school and get a job, even though I had never been schooled. So I went from nothing, and then I went into a community college, and then I transferred into a four-year university in Santa Cruz before dropping out because it was way too expensive. And I took a pen and paper and some fruit into the forest and wrote a list of what I want in my life and what I don't want in my life. And I looked at the two after writing them, and it was a big discrepancy. So I decided to just start traveling because it filled a lot of my needs that I had that I wasn't even aware of having until I went into the forest and wrote them down.
So I think that's really interesting. What were the things that were bothering you, like that spark to like, I need to reassess what I'm doing with my life and the direction I want to go in? Because I think a lot of us experience that, but no one ever does anything. Not no one, but people often kind of just get stuck, and they don't change. They don't take that assessment. Sometimes they're worried about what their parents or friends would think, what society thinks, what they think they're supposed to do. But you went off with a piece of paper and some fruit into the woods, and you're just like, I'm going to write down
Yeah.
what I want and what I don't want. And
Nobody will tell you to do that. Nobody tells you, hey, think of what you want. I had never heard that, even from my own parents growing up. Like they'd say, just enjoy yourself, but no one ever said, figure out what you don't want. I think it's very important to know what you don't want, almost more importantly than what you do want. So I looked at my life and the things that I didn't really like. For example, I was eating the same old food all the time. I was speaking English all the time when I would like to learn different languages. I was around the same kind of people. I was spending a lot of my time in a car.
So these were the things that were on your list?
Yeah, these were actually on my list. I wrote them down. I said, spending too much time driving, too much time speaking English when my passion, when I hadn't really admitted to myself that it was my passion, but language, for example. I love languages, and I had just no exposure to that in the U.S. It's not the most multicultural society. There's some Spanish in California where I was, but that's about the limit unless you really dig deep somewhere. But yeah, I just eliminated these. I figured out what I didn't want in my life, and then I made a plan of what actions could I take, what paths could I take that would get these things I don't want out of my life and get these things that I do want in.